Peace and blessings. How you doing? Father Augustino here, and today is your daily meditation. Today is Sunday of the third week of Lent, and we're taking this from the incredible gospel, John chapter 4, that we're hearing today in Mass about the Samaritan woman. And so it says, Jesus came to a city of Samaria called Sychar, near the field that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there, and so Jesus, wearied as he was with his journey, sat down beside the well. It was about the 6th hour. There came a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus was tired. He was by himself, and it was the 6th hour. It was noon. When the heat of the day is burning down upon a barren land, and a woman came at that time to draw water. That doesn't seem a little bit normal. In fact, it doesn't seem normal at all. Has it ever happened to you that like anybody says, like you do something, you sing a song, you give a talk, I don't know, like you clean the house, and somebody says, "Wow, what a great job. Wow, thank you so much." And you hear them, and like you hear what they're saying, and like you're grateful, but it's like in your heart, you're just kind of like, something you can't receive it. Or like maybe you cook something for somebody and they're like, "Wow, this is so good," and you can't receive a compliment, or in your mind it's just like there's always something more. It's like, it's not perfect, it's not right, and there's just like this thing that you can't accept what somebody is saying. I find that as I travel, I talk to a lot of people, that is like a huge thing. And what I've identified is that in so many of us, there is like a spirit of self-loathing, spirit of self-hatred. And for some of us, it doesn't go away. And we try to kind of like say, keep it positive, like my body's a gift, I got to take care of myself, I need self-care time, and then we kind of like end up going all the way around, and we kind of like lose our conversion. Like, in our spirituality as Catholics, there exists this trend that saints would say that you need to hate yourself and love God. In fact, that's exactly what St. Augustine said. St. Augustine said, in the end, there will be only one of two things. Either love of God and hatred of self, or hatred of self and love of God. Okay, so like, does that work today? I mean, like, we have grown in our understanding of our own human dignity, yes. And I'm not talking about anything to go against our dignity, but all I'm saying is that we have this self-hatred where we know that something isn't fully right. And I think that's what this Samaritan woman was doing when she was going to get water at noon. Girl, what you doing going out at noon? In the heat of the day, people didn't do that. If you go to like places where there's still wells, they go to get the water out early in the day and then in the afternoon, not in the heat of the sun. Everybody's chilling out. And at this time, what was she doing? Well, she didn't want to go when all these other women were there saying like, look who's coming. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. How many husbands is she on now? I don't even know. I've lost count. So like all these women would have been there at the well in the morning, and she didn't want to deal with any of that. And I think that is a good sign. Did she not want to deal with it because of pride? Did she not want to deal with it because she was sorrowful? I'm not sure, but I do know that something was going on in her mind. My brothers and sisters, a necessary component for conversion is realization that we don't have it all together. And this woman, say what you want about the Samaritan woman, she realized that she didn't have it all together, and she didn't want to hear it. That's why she came at 12 o'clock noon to draw water. But guess who she found there? Jesus. And Jesus had a couple things to say to her. But I have a couple things to say to you. Because I realized that no matter how hard you might be trying, you can't change this inner disposition that tells you you're not good enough. That tells you that no matter how hard you try, it's still not enough. It can't be perfect, no matter how, and everyone in the world might be telling you you're doing an awesome job, and you can't bring yourself to believe it. You have a hard time receiving love. You're not alone. St. Francis also self-loathing into a vehicle for deeper conversion. So here's 3 tips to kind of help you understand what is bad self-loathing and what is something that's going to lead you to conversion. Number 1, bad self-loathing, bad self-hatred has as its root pride. A holy disposition is something that would lead you to humility. Meaning, you kind of like look at what you did, and you're like, oh, it's not good enough, but it's about you. You know, sometimes we can even go to confession like this. We're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I just feel so bad. Like, why did I mess up? Like, dude, like, we're sinners. Are you more angry that you messed up because you messed up? Or are you angry because, or disappointed because you offended God? Are we going to confession as like an exercise of pride? Whereas a holy self-hatred, if I can coin the phrase, is like through humility. I messed up. I'm so sorry. I offended God. I need to go to confession. Tip number 2 is that a bad self-hatred leads to self-destruction, whereas a holy self-hatred, if I can use that term, leads to a deepening of conversion. There's something about this holy self-hatred that builds us up, and there's something about the bad that tears us down. It just tears us down. It's not about somebody just getting in your face to get in your face, and maybe somebody has given you a correction and you're just crushed, like you can't go on. You need to deepen your understanding of where that's coming from. If you're the one giving a correction, it should be rooted in love. I remember one time this very well-known priest corrected me, and like when he corrected me, I was like, yes, like it felt, I was like, yeah, like he yelled at me, he pounded on the table, and he corrected me, and I was just like, yeah, relax. It was just about an academic question. It wasn't anything moral or anything. He pounded on the table, said, it must be this way. And I was like, yes, you're right. And I loved that he got in my face that way. And it led me to a deeper understanding of what God wanted to do in me. So, bad self-hatred leads to self-destruction. Holy self-hatred leads to a deepening of conversion. And the 3rd tip is bad self-hatred is actually a lie, whereas holy self-hatred rejoices in the truth. Most of the time, like, what happens in our head is not true. We've reinforced over and over again this lie about who we think we are, and it's the devil's game to keep us there. Whereas we need to recognize and remember that as children of God, there is an inalienable dignity, meaning no one can take this away, that is right here. We are loved not because of what we do, but because of who we are, because of whose we are. So on this day, recognize that there might be something that needs to change, and the fact that you recognize it is the beginning of a conversion. Take the steps for it to be a holy deepening of conversion thing, and not a bad self-hatred, bringing you down, destroying your thing. This is something that you can begin today. I'll see you tomorrow. Father Agustino here. Peace.